Hello and welcome to CIPD Bitesize. In this video, we're looking at AC 2.2 from the 5001 Organisational Performance and Culture in Practice module. Now, this is a very heavy scenario-based unit, so you've got to make sure before you start answering this question, you are fully up to speed with the scenario. Are you ready? Pause it and read it, because I'm not going to read it to you, but scenario is essential for this particular one. Calmere House is bought out by Chaffinch Group. Chaffinch Group have been struggling since the integration and stuff like that. Some of the decisions seem to be struggling with a few bits and pieces. You're brought in to help do it. This is part one. Here's part two. Make sure you pause and read it fully so that you can fully get on board with what's going on. Right. Let's dig into the question. So, assess how changes to selection and employee voice have impacted organisational culture and behaviours at Chaffinch Group. So straight away, if you're up to speed with the scenario, you'll be thinking, okay, well, we know what changes have happened from a top-down perspective, so now we need to start to assess how we use this using methods and cultures and tools. If you've done 2.1, you'll have looked at different models recently, organizational cultural models. So let's think about it. Your verb is assess. So you're looking at the light and shade, the pros and cons, how changes to selection and employee voice. So what's changed on selection, what's changed on employee voice, what's changed in recruitment, what's changed in staff communication. How has that impacted organizational culture and behavior? What changes have happened within the organization from a positive and a negative perspective at Chaffinch Group? That's how you break down the question. So if you break it into action points, it says changes to selection, changes to employee voice, and then of these changes, how has it impacted culture? How has it impacted behavior? Break it down that way. Now, as always, what you've got here is one of 12 questions, 4,550 words per question, not per question, in total, which means 380 words per question. So you're looking at around about 200 words for assessing the changes to selection and assessing the changes to employee voice and how that has impacted culture and behaviours. So just tell me about the changes. Don't give me a description about what's happened. I read the scenario and I'm the marker. Tell me about how it's impacted culture. Tell me about how it's impacted behaviours. Look at risk of burnout, look at risk of illness, look at risk of turnover. Give me some data, give me something that I can understand, bite onto. Don't just tell me the scenario back. Now, CIPD want you to let you work out that way, which is AC 2.2, and then you put your answer underneath. So don't forget that they want the work laid out in that particular way. And think about impact, think about data, think about proving you're right, thinking about how the subject have impacted. How has it impacted? What evidence have you got to demonstrate that that has impacted? And what evidence have you got to show that this is a regular occurrence in the world of work, not just in this particular scenario? As always, let's have a look at the question. You've got AC 2.3, look, AC 2.2, the verb is assess, scenario required yes, your word count is 380, your action point 1 is looking at how it has impacted changes to selection, as well as impact, changes to how it's to employee voice, as well as impact. So action point 1 is selection, action point 2 is voice, impact, and behaviours are the outcome and evidence that you'll be putting with that, with references and citations. You can use models as you did in 2.1, or you can just go with facts about how that impacts and what goes on from that perspective. Here's an example of one of our studies filled out. Now, some recommended reading for this, which is CIPD Love CIPD, so CIPD Fact Sheet Organisational Development, CIPD Fact Sheet L&D Strategy and Policy, CIPD Fact Sheet Selection Methods, CIPD Fact Sheet Recruitment Methods. Now, if you think about L&D Strategy and Policy, it doesn't sound like it fits, but actually when you read the documentation within there and you start to think about employee voice and training and development and culture and integration and behaviours, actually there's quite a few interesting pieces that connect to that. So that's why we've got that as a potential recommended reading for you for this particular one as well. Now, let's give it a different spin. Let's one of the things that we always do is we do a fictitious scenario to try and help you understand the question from a different perspective. And if you think about how an organization is like a garden, the employees are the plants, employee selection is choosing the right seeds or plants that go well together, employee development is nurturing and caring for the plants, and organizational culture is the overall atmosphere and appearance of the garden. So just as a gardener carefully selects the seeds for the desired traits, e.g. colour, size, growth rate, the organisation selects employees based on skills, values, cultural fit. Choosing the right people for the right is crucial for creating a healthy and productive organisation. Are they currently doing that? A gardener provides water, sunlight, nutrients to help plants grow strong and healthy. Similarly, the organisation invests in employee development through training, coaching, mentorship, fostering growth and enhancing performance. Are they doing that? The overall appearance and feel of the garden might reflect the care and attention given to the plants. Likewise, organisational culture is a direct result of employees it has and how they're developed. A garden is vibrant, healthy, plants create beautiful and inviting atmospheres. Just a positive organisational culture attracts and retains talent. Are they doing that? And I would spin that further for you, which is how does that impact patient care? So using this analogy, you can explore how selection methods align with organisational values, how investing in employee development can enhance job satisfaction, productivity, innovation, leading to better culture. And conversely, neglecting employee development, voice, and hiring incompatible employees can create a stagnant or a toxic work environment. So just as if you don't know what you're doing when you build a garden, you can put plants that clash against each other. How are you approaching this from this perspective? If you just look at some basic metrics, is that enough? And you will find the answer to this in the scenario, then you've just got to find the evidence to back your thinking. Best of luck with this one. I'll show you the great, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.